Welcome everybody to the Big Bad Debate, a new web series where I compare and contrast two of my favorite things that I really like and decide which one is better. Let's get started, shall we? Okay, two things that I'm going to be comparing this week are one, Jonathan Huber of I Declare War, and two, Matti Way of Pathology. Now, both of these death metal vocalists are very unique in their own voices, in their own style. Matti Way, of course, is the more experienced one. Now, if you take into consideration, I have been listening to Pathology for many months, and the thing I noticed in Matti Way's voice that has changed is quite simply the way he growls. Of course, it's been a standard for him to growl the way he does, like that. And then Jonathan Huber, he's like, you know, I mean, I don't know how to growl while exhaling, but I mean, you know. But I mean, that's just my interpretation of what they sound like when they're growling lyrics, you know. But the key important thing that I know is true in both death metal vocalists' breakdowns is that Matti Ways is more controlled and Jonathan Huber's is more chaotic. And now comes my take on which of the two vocalists I think is better, either Matti Way or Jonathan Huber. Now, like I said before, Matti Way and Jonathan Huber are each in their own excellent death metal vocalists. They can growl deep, deep guttural growls is the name of their game, you know? And I'm if I were a true metal critic, which I'm not, I would say that experience goes to Matti Way because he's been doing it for almost, well, for a really long time, since like the late or mid 90s or so. And Jonathan Huber, on the other hand, he's been doing this since like the mid 2000s. So experience goes to Matti Way. In terms of distinctiveness, I would have to go with Jonathan Huber because you can't even you can't even understand what he's saying. That's how brutal it is, you know? And I mean that in the best way possible. And now for the deciding factor. In terms of mastering the technique, I would have to go with Matti Way because Matti Way has been growling for so many years. And quite frankly, I mean, he's got the technique down pat. I have heard him perform in concert with the Scourge and Pathology, via the internet. I have listened to Throne of Rain. I have listened to Lords of Rephaim. I have listened to Age of Onset and Legacy of the Ancients. I have not listened to an entire Disgorge album in its entirety, most likely because there are two Disgorges, one from Mexico and the American Disgorge. But bottom line is, between Matti Way and Jonathan Huber, my pick for the better death metal vocalist would have to go to Matti Way, simply because of the experience and his mastery of it. And Jonathan Huber, of course, he's a very, very close second. Very close second, let me tell you. So that pretty much concludes this, the very first episode of the Big Bad Debate. Next Thursday, I'll talk about two more things that I really like and compare the two and decide which one I think is the better one. Stay tuned for it next week, so I'll see you then. Later.